This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, pet lovers. Welcome to Best Bets for Pets. I'm your show host, Michelle Fern. It's summer and travel time. And, you really need to be prepared if you're going to travel with your pooch. And I have a great product we're going to talk about. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to welcome Mandie Sweetnam. She is the Petsafe Category Manager, and obviously she's from Petsafe. Welcome, Mandie.
Hi, thanks, Michelle. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so excited to have you on. So for people that don't know, because I know Petsafe and you guys have so many different products, I know you're more on the travel end, but can you give us a little bit of a history about Petsafe and the kind of products that you guys have?
Yes, absolutely. So Petsafe, as you mentioned, we have just a wide, broad variety of products. We like to pride ourselves on being a solution-based company. We want to be able to help that human-animal bond and improve it and improve the lives of people and their pets. So we have anything from waters and feeders to automatic litter boxes, the travel products as I provide, as well as steps and ramps, toys, the ever famous Gentle Leader, an easy walk harness. So the list goes on. We've got a ton of products to choose from.
Okay, so people know that you guys, Petsafe is well-versed in everything for your pet, for dogs, for cats, and sometimes other animals too, right?
Occasionally, we will go outside of the dog and cat world, and the product we just released, I have used it with my goat.
You have a goat?
We have 2 goats. We have they're Nigerian dwarfs, Nigel and Flash, and I take them sometimes on field trips. And Nigel's a little too big, but Flash is a few months old, and I take them in the car, and I took them to my kid's school one day for show and tell, and he used our telescoping ramp, our aluminum telescoping ramp to get into the back, jumped right into our collapsible travel crate, and absolutely loved it. He just kind of laid down and had a great time. So yes, they're versatile products.
Wow. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the Happy Ride Collapsible Travel Crate.
That's right.
But I'm going to call it the Travel Crate. Because,
perfect.
So, wow, a goat, if a goat likes it, your pooch is going to like it for sure. And, for everyone listening, you might think, oh, my dog's okay. They don't jump back and forth too much in the car. Okay, personal story. This happened to me. And yes, you do need to keep your pets safe. When I lived in Los Angeles, my dog, I'll call her C. She's now in doggy heaven because it was a long time ago, but she loved to go to the dog park. And for people, we have lots of listeners in California. So this was the Laurel Canyon Park. And back then, now it's fenced in. Back then it wasn't. We're going back many, many years. And to go, like so much of LA, to go up and through from the city to the valley, there's all these little canyon roads. So it was literally one way each way. And she was in the back. She had her leash on, but I wasn't concerned because she usually was pretty calm. The window was about half down. Well, a second later, she is so excited to get to the dog park. She freaking jumps out. Now,
Yikes.
Cars are going one way, there's only 2 lanes, one let's see, one north, one south. So that's it. There was no room for, I just reacted so quickly. Thank goodness I put the car in park, got out, opened the door, shoved her back in and closed it and thought, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that happened. So, and then we made our way to the dog park. But that's just an example. Did she ever do that before? No, never. She never really even jumped around. And there she jumped out the window. And this isn't a little dog. She was 40 pounds. So you never know.
You never know, Michelle. And that experience that you had is actually kind of common. And it's funny you mentioned that story, which is, I'm sure was like, just terrifying when it was happening because everything happened so fast. And, the dogs don't know how much danger they're in when they jump out of the door or the window. They just know, like, I'm excited and I want to go right now. But the whole basis for this, it's kind of funny how this product came to be. The whole basis for this product was that, the dog was riding in the car. And of course, we have many products around keeping pets contained in the vehicle, prevents driver distraction, prevents them from getting hurt in the car. We even have crash tested harnesses. But one thing we saw too, just in customer observation, was pets get excited when they get ready to jump out of the car. And when you open the door, some pets will just slip right out. And before you have a chance to get the leash on them, to get ready, they're just gone and they can take off and there's traffic and all kinds of things. So that was actually how this project started. And then it kind of morphed into this travel crate. But yeah, that very situation is terrifying. And we hope this will prevent that from happening for many people.
I was really fortunate that nothing happened to her and that there were no other cars coming because there was not a shoulder. It was the side of a mountain. There's not really, these are just how these roads are in Los Angeles, and they're not trail roads. They're regular roads. They're just like that. It's mountainous and desert. So, but it ended well. But you're so right. I have seen countless people where they're, taking their dog somewhere, open the door, the dog flies out, and then they're trying to catch the dog, and the dog thinks they're playing a game. And then, it's just, please, dog, please, my little baby, don't go in traffic or anything. So I'm so glad you created the travel crate. Now, what I love about this crate, and we're going to get into more specific details, it has a lot of great features. But what I love is that it collapses and it's very secure. It's not flimsy at all. And it's easy to open up. I love that it's mesh also. I think it can also double as a dog bed. But tell us more about the features. I just want to tell everyone, I didn't even look at the directions. I'm bad like that. I put it up. It was like, it took me 2 minutes.
So I'm so happy to hear that. And I am the same way. I don't read instructions. I'm like, I'm just going to chance it, see what happens. So when, our team develops products, I like to keep that in mind because, there are a lot of us out there. So simple is better. But this product it's our baby. We love it. It's like you said, so many good features for this. I don't even know where to start, but I'll start with the collapsible part. It has an aluminum frame and you actually can take that nylon cover off of it if you need to and clean it. And it's actually pretty simple to put back on and off. So everything is washable from the mat that you put down on the bottom to kind of keep the stability to the nylon cover. So easy to keep clean, easy to put up. It has that aluminum frame that I mentioned, and it has these little clips. You can just kind of pop the frame out, which is very helpful. If you've got your hands full, you're going to the car, you can put it in the car and you take one hand to just pop all of those frames out, and it's easy. Another cool feature I love is you can buckle it into the car, and then you can, I don't know if you did this with yours, but you can take that front strap that's in the front and secure it over the headrest in front of it. And that will actually help stabilize it. And when the pet kind of walks towards the front, because what it does is it utilizes that empty leg space and it only takes up one seat. So a lot of crates, they're like, oblong and clunky. And when the vehicle moves, if you happen to slam on the brakes, they kind of like wobble back and forth. And that's just it's not a great experience for your pet. Cat or dog, by the way, either pet can travel.
It's not great. And it's also, first we want to be careful about our pooches. So it's not great for the pet, obviously. But it's also not great for the pet parent because dogs often get sick when they're bounced back and forth. So then you have not happy pet parent and really not happy pet. So those are great features.
Yeah. And so the coolest, it's my favorite feature. I think everything is my favorite feature on this item, but one of my most favorite features, which I use. So I have a little mini schnauzer. He's one of 4 dogs that we have, but he's my travel buddy. So when I when I take long road trips, and sometimes it's just me and him on an 8-hour drive, right? I use this, and he was a tester with this product quite often. So he started the whole thing, but there is on either side of the crate, it's a mirror image on both sides. You can open each side the same way, and it's a big wide door. You unzip it, and then you can zip it closed. And then my favorite feature is the access point. It has a little drawstring that you can open up, and you can reach in, and you can give your pet a treat. You can just kind of pet them and comfort them. So I like to give Rowdy, his name is Rowdy, I like to give him treats, just for being a good boy, right? If he's sitting in the back in his little crate and he's just not expecting it and he's just being as good as he can, I reach back, I take his little treat, I open the drawstring, hand him a treat, give him a pet, close it back up. Not when I'm driving, of course, if I'm parked, and it's just so handy, and I love it. And the mesh is the windows are wide for great ventilation, and you can see them. That's what our customers tell us, right? They want to be able to see their pet. It's comforting for them to see and be able to touch.
To see, right? And I think it's comforting for your pet to be able to see too. They like the idea of being able to see you. They're not blocked off. I mean, they can see outside. They're blocked off a little bit in the front, right?
Yeah, they have some, mostly they can, if they wanted to, they can sit up and look out the window, which is another cool feature of this one. And they can see out of the front, and they've got really good visibility with this item. And then they can lay down flat, and it's a nice roomy area for them to just kind of have on their own. And bonus, when we did our testing, we, before we launch products, we do like a mass testing with real pet parents just to make sure everyone loves it. And when we did the testing, a lot of pet parents reported that it made their dogs feel less anxious. Some of the pet parents, their pets already had some sort of travel anxiety. And when they used this, they were not as nervous. And they said that even improved for them over time. So that for me was really cool. Not something I was like planning on necessarily, but it was like a happy piece of information.
That makes sense, because you know how when you crate train dogs, and some people think it's a mean thing, but that's like when they go into the crate, that's like their safe place. And this travel crate becomes their safe place for traveling. So I think that, Nicky liked it. He liked that he was, safe and in a contained place. I think it makes the dog feel safer.
It does. And, some dogs, like when the vehicle moves, they can tell, they can look on the floor and see like, I could fall down there, right? Like, and it's a little bit alarming to them. And with this, they're contained into the crate. There's not a chance they're going to like slip and tumble into the floor if you take like a hard turn. Like I drive like I'm on Fast and the Furious. Okay. Like I take corners pretty hard. So my poor dog is like nicely contained and safe and cushioned in the back, and he's super happy. He has no idea.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. And we're going to talk more about the travel crate. We'll be right back. Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking to Mandie from Petsafe about the collapsible travel crate. So, Mandie, when you were designing this, how important was it that it's collapsible for travel? I mean, if it's not that big, and besides that it's collapsible, how important when you did all the testing was it so that, everything is washable? Is the bed part washable too, the flat bed part?
Yes. So to answer your collapsible question, that was actually one of the most important things to pet parents. And because when you're not using it, you need to be able to store it somewhere. And if you're traveling out of town, I stay at a lot of Airbnbs when I travel for work and take Rowdy with me. And when you're trying to go from your car into your room or your house, you don't want to carry a whole crate, right? You want to be able to kind of minimize it and put it on your roller bag or on a luggage cart, or just carry it. To be honest, it's very lightweight. So that was very important to not only our customers that we tested with, but to me, I mean, as a pet parent. And it does fold down very nicely, and it's so cool because you can bring it into your room. And like I said, I use this with Rowdy, and you just pop it back up. Like, it's not like you have to, some other foldable crates that are out there that are like, clunky. Like, I always pinch a finger. I always get hurt. And this is just so easy. It's so easy.
Can it double as a bed? I mean, it would have to be for smaller dogs. I know it fits for dogs up to 60 pounds, but Nikki was using it as a bed.
Yeah. So I keep one at my desk at the office, and my two little guys use it. Anderson, who's a beagle, he's our cube mate. He sits next to us. He loves it. So Anderson has this humongous bed. He's a beagle, so it's probably 20 times his size, this bed that he has. He prefers to lay in our travel crate. So that makes me really happy because I'm like, you know what? He wants to be there. He has all these other options, and that for him is comfortable. It's, not as plush as the big old bed that he's got, but he feels safe in it. It's not always about the cushion. It's about the safety and comfort they feel. So yeah, absolutely can be their little, safe haven in the house too.
Okay. What size? I alluded to that it does fit dogs up to 60 pounds. What about, rather than just give out the measurements, or if you like, let us know the measurements, but about what size dog?
So I would say up to like a medium-sized dog, and it's going to be a little bit different. As we all know, pets come in multiple shapes and sizes. The actual size itself, so it's about 27 inches long, it's about 19 inches wide, and 28 inches high when you open it up. So, it's got ample space, but some dogs are a little more leggy, like maybe they weigh, 50 pounds, but they're very tall. You want to make sure, and this is just, typical kind of crate etiquette, you want to make sure your pet can stand up, turn around comfortably, and lay down. You don't want them to look cramped at all. You don't want them to look like they're crouching. So if you have like a leggy dog, like a whippet or something, you want to make sure, like, okay, are they going to be comfortable? So I do caution pet parents with dogs that are taller than they are heavy. But for the most part, the pets that we tested with, we did a call for pets under 60 pounds. Nobody had any size issues. And so we were very happy to hear that. And so I do caution tall dogs that are heavyweight, but other than that, medium and under.
Okay. And this show is all about the travel crate. But, PetMate has a lot of products. So if it's okay, do you have products that you can use for larger dogs?
So we don't have a crate for larger dogs at this time. However, we do have products for larger dogs that you can use to keep them, we like to keep pets safe while in the vehicle, right? So we have crash tested car harnesses. We have a cool product called a zip line that if you want to keep your pet in the back seat, but you want to give them that freedom of motion to go from one window to the next, but not jump in the front seat or the back. That kind of is like a little zip line that can keep them that way. We have your basic tethers, and we have barriers too. So we have like a front barrier where you can put it between the back seat and the front seat. So it keeps them in the back seat, and then a tubular or a mesh barrier for the cargo area. So it kind of keeps them in the back seat. And, of course, we have seat covers to protect your seats, and side door covers. So you're basically creating a large crate in your back seat for your pet. Plenty of options for larger dogs.
What about for cats? I mean, you could probably use the travel crate for cats. I have to tell you, my 3 cats loved sleeping on it when it was closed. I don't know what that's about. Something was grasping them. And there's other beds around, plenty of others, but they wanted to sleep on that.
Well, I know cats have that intuition, and they can feel the love that we poured into that product. And I know that's what attracted them to it. But it is okay for cats. Yes. Cats are lighter weight. I wouldn't put more than probably 2 in there, even though the weight capacity is up to 60. But, you don't want to throw like too many cats into one containment area. So I would probably go a maximum of 2 cats, but they would be just fine in it. It would be about the same experience as a dog, especially if your cat is used to riding in a vehicle. But yeah, cats, dogs, goats,
Well, what I like about for cats is that it's secure and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can always, use crates. Is the mesh strong enough that cats can't slice through it?
So we have not taken like a razor blade to that mesh, but it is tear resistant. So we've taken a lot of things and like scratched it against it and just kind of test it out. It is very strong mesh. If your cat has razor blades for hands, maybe, but unlikely.
It's only one, Dennis. He opens dog food with his. Yeah, make sure that it's secure.
There's
I don't
always
know.
one.
He
There's
opens
always one.
everything. Anything, if it's on the floor in a bag, he slices through it. He just is. I should have called him Edward, like Edward Scissorhands, but
Yep.
it was Dennis for Dennis the Menace because he just gets into trouble. So
It's cute.
well, Petsafe has great products. I'm so excited you guys came out with the travel crate because it is just so handy, so useful. I asked about it for cats because I had a cat experience. And I think cats, from my experience, I think they're more sensitive to movement in the car and they don't like it at all.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, because, okay, might as well tell this story real quick. Dennis was my first cat. I came into cats late in life. So Dennis was my first cat. I had dogs all before growing up. And he just walked into the house one day. One night it was cold. He came in and he stayed. But we wanted to see if he was lost in the neighborhood. So we wanted to see if he was chipped. So we went to Humane Society. The crate that we borrowed because we didn't have anything, I didn't have cats before, was not secured. Let me tell you, when a cat has to go and he's nervous in the car and you are driving, that is not something you ever want to experience. It's not easy to drive with your head out the window, because cats get nervous. They poop.
The nervous poop, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
We've all been there with our cats traveling in the car. And you're right. Like if what they're in jostles around or moves, they're like, nope, I'm out. I don't like this. I am going to let out my alarm system. And it's very upsetting for everyone in the car.
Yes. The poor thing. And it was, horrible. And I guess fortunate for me, he's a great cat. Nobody claimed him. I don't know what happened, but I'm just grateful. So Mandie, I mentioned that, I had a dog that wobbled around. I have a cat that wobbled around. And I know that the travel crate is secure. Can I use it in the back seat, the front seat? Does it matter what side it's on? Any of that? And can it still, hold secure in the seat?
Yes. So I recommend using it in the back seat just because, your pet's usually more comfortable back there, but you can put it in any seat that you like, and you can put it in either side of the vehicle or the middle seat if you'd like. It does fit into a captain's chair if you have a vehicle that has like a third row seat with a captain's chair style in the middle. And you can buckle it in with the seatbelt system in the vehicle. So you run it through. And if anyone has ever used child safety seats, they know it's not as difficult as those, I promise. But you can run it through on either side and it works on both sides. And there's even a piece of fabric between the seatbelt and the pet so that the pet doesn't get involved into the seatbelt. You can choose to leave the seatbelt out if you wanted to use it with a car harness, crash tested harness, or you can put it behind the fabric. But yeah, you can buckle it in anywhere. And like I said, I used it with my goat in the cargo area of my vehicle, and I fastened it in with the headrest strap. So lots of different ways to secure the crate.
That's so great to hear. What about people that have RVs I guess for RVs, you could probably, they're like moving houses. You could just put them on a seat that flips down, or what would you do in that situation?
So in an RV, it's very stable. So if it's setting alone on its own, it actually sets very stable on its own upright, that's what makes it a great, transitional item to go from the car to the house. So if you have an RV and you wanted to keep it in the RV anywhere, really, I wouldn't put it up anywhere high in an RV without securing it with the headrest strap, but on the ground. And it has a cool shape. It's like a curved top shape. So it fits. Like last weekend, me and my family went to Chincoteague Island and we took our little guys, and there was this little area under the stairs and it fit like a glove. It just securely snuggled in right under the steps, and I left the door open and they bundled up in there together and just had a great little, they were like Harry Potter, right? Except for in a good way. The boys under the stairs. So, but it does fit really well in a lot of different places. So if you do have RV, and we do too, and you struggle to find a ton of space, this doesn't take up a ton of space. So that's another bonus to it.
Yes, it doesn't. And you can double it as a bed if your dogs are small enough.
That's right.
Wonderful. Can you tell our listeners where they can find the Travel Crate and other PetSafe products?
Absolutely. So at this time, we do have it on our site, petsafe.net. We have it on amazon.com. We have it on chewy.com, and we've just launched it last month. So it's growing by the day. But at this time, those are the retailers you can locate it at.
Thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling us about the Happy Ride Collapsible Travel Crate and all the other great stuff that PetSafe has. And I can't wait to get traveling with my collapsible crate. I just did a little test run, but summertime, we're going to get traveling. So thank you so much, Mandie.
Thank you, Michelle. And I really hope to see pictures of your road trips.
Okay. Oh, what a great show. I know I say that a lot, but this one was a lot of fun. I had such a good time talking with Mandie about the Happy Ride Collapsible Travel Crate. Nikki had a great time in it. In fact, it's his new, hangout place. And I felt so much better when he was in the travel crate when we were driving, because he's not too bad in the car, but he likes to jump around a bit. And I'm not comfortable with that. It's so easy for our pooches to get hurt. So be sure to check out PetSafe. It's petsafe.com, and you can find out all about their Happy Ride Collapsible Travel Crate. It's just a great product. I'd like to thank my guests for coming on Best Bets for Pets. Thank you, Mandie, for coming on Best Bets for Pets. I'd like to thank Nikki for being my tester. He did a great job. I'd like to thank Mark Winter, who is an amazing producer and sound engineer and makes me and my guests sound amazing. Thank you, Mark. And of course, huge thank you to everyone listening. Thank you so much for listening to Best Bets for Pets. Without you, there wouldn't be a Best Bets for Pets going on. We're going on 12 years. Lots of products, all kinds of great products. So thank you so much for listening. And hey, keep listening, because you never know what we're going to have next on Best Bets for Pets.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.